Since the beginning of recorded history, a mystical rock located approximately 239,000 miles from Earth has been a source of fables and spiritual beliefs. However, there are times when the reality is more bizarre than fiction. The following are a few facts that will cause you to look at the evening sky in a slightly different way. On the surface of the moon, there is a cemetery. Most of the 200 tons of waste on the lunar surface are composed of space debris and ephemera that has either crash-landed there or been left there by the 12 crew members who have traveled there since 1969. This includes discarded spacecraft, expanded rocket launchers, camera systems, rucksacks, and golf balls. But here's another of the more gruesome facts about the moon. The charred remains of Eugene Shoemaker, one of the early advocates of cosmology, were scattered across the lunar surface in a capsule made of polycarbonate and launched into space by NASA. You can find these ashes on the moon. Lunatics come from the word moon. In the Middle Ages, scholars and theologians assumed that a full moon exacerbated epilepsy and impacted outbreaks of sickness and rheumatoid arthritis. This is one of the lunar facts that date back to that period. Due to the link between the moon and strange behavioral patterns, those affected by the condition were referred to as lunatics, which literally translates to moonsick. Our descendants might not be able to see the moon in the future. Because the moon's orbit advances approximately 4 centimeters further from our planet every year, it is safe to assume that in a short 500 million years, the moon will be about 14,600 miles further away from Earth than it currently is. This means that our kids might not have a chance to see the moon in the future. New footprints on the lunar surface. Where are they from? Even though it's been over 4 decades since humans last visited the moon, there are still fresh footprints there. Is this possible proof of a life form from another planet? Is it possible that Bigfoot has relocated to the moon? Not really. It's just some remaining footprints from the astronauts, nothing more. There is neither wind nor water on the lunar surface, so any tracks made there can endure for millions of years. A full moon might cause narrow sleep and even insomnia. An experimental study conducted at the University of Basel in Switzerland found that the closer people observed the moon around the period of a full moon, the less deep sleep they had, the less melatonin they made, and the longer it required them to drift off to sleep, on average 5 extra minutes. Marie Dumont, a sleep scientist who was not part of the study, hypothesizes that a full moon's presence may influence the autonomic biological clock by raising the quantity of light that participants are exposed to during the night. The blood moon. Is it something peculiar? When the right circumstances exist, the moon can take on a spooky appearance, similar to that seen in late September 2015 by many people. But notwithstanding werewolf concerns and apocalyptic alarms, experts identify the so-called blood moon as a simple celestial event when our planet throws a rust-colored shade on the lunar surface. Shadows are darker on the moon than on Earth. The shadows cast by space crew members on the lunar surface were instantly recognizable as being significantly darker than those cast on Earth. On our planet, a layer of the atmosphere causes light to disperse and cast shadows, but this layer does not exist on the moon. Even though there is still plenty of light from the sun and the Earth for shadow casting, they are much more challenging. The moon suffers from moonquakes too. The moon's crust moves and transforms, similar to the Earth's outermost layer. Moonquakes can be caused by the warming and expansion of the moon's crust, and by the collision of meteorites with the moon's surface. Moonquakes do not achieve the same magnitude as earthquakes, but they can continue considerably longer since the moon does not have any water to counteract the effects of tectonic oscillations. The moon has a time zone all on its own. Even though it is referred to as Lunar Standard Time, this time does not simply coincide with any time zone on Earth. On the lunar surface, an entire year is broken down into 12 days, and every day lasts approximately as long as a whole month does on Earth. The passage of time on this moon is very different from how it works on Earth. Every day on the moon is assigned the moniker of a specific astronaut who has set foot on the moon's surface. After being segmented into 30 phases, the days are further segmented into hours, minutes, and second increments. Yes, and the calendar began on the day Neil Armstrong first set foot on the moon, on July 21st, 1969, at 2:56 and 15 seconds Universal Time. The first day of the first phase of the first year started. The moon experiences a wide fluctuation of temperatures. You assume that the Earth is situated in a cosmic area that is moderate and suitable for life. Surface temps on planets far from the Sun are much lower, while those nearer to the Sun encounter much higher temperatures. Compared to the Earth, the Moon is subjected to temperatures ranging from extremely cold to extremely hot. It can get up to 93 degrees Celsius, 200 Fahrenheit, in daylight. On the other hand, the average temperature averages around -400 Fahrenheit at the planet's poles. The absence of an atmosphere on the lunar surface is responsible for this difference. So, what do you think? The moon is not only beautiful, but it also comes with plenty of facts and mysteries humans can't yet decipher. But in the future, with technological advancements, we can get to know our friendly moon more deeply. If you enjoyed our video and found it helpful, we'd be thrilled if you could give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. By doing so, you'll be part of our awesome community and always be the first to know when we release new videos. Thanks for your support.